playoffs.
Do I like playing against Luka Doncic? The answer is no. I mean, the answer is no.
If I'm really guarding Luka, I'm just guarding him. I ain't stopping.
Like, damn, this dude is good. Do I belong?
Luka Doncic is one of the brightest up-and-coming superstars in the NBA. Matter of fact, he already is a superstar, so a better way to put it is that he is one of those generational talents with potential to be the future face of the league. Coming off of a otherworldly 2023-24 NBA regular season with averages of league-leading 33.9 points per game, along with 9.2 rebounds and 9.8 assists, which is the second highest average in the league, Luka Doncic had a statement season. Because of his level of play, he has gotten a huge amount of respect from NBA players over the years. Let's hear what some of them have had to say about him. James Harden's prime years as a Houston Rocket were something to be studied in the history books. Prime James Harden was a force to be reckoned with, winning the Most Valuable Player award in 2017-18 and averaging 36 and 34 points per game in 2019 and 2020, respectively. A crazy stretch indeed. What Luka was doing in the 2023-24 NBA regular season is something really similar to what Harden was doing during his peak Houston days, especially when you consider how similar their playing styles are. James Harden is aware of this, of course, and commented a bit on the similarities and challenges that the two scoring machines have had in common.
Man, he just creates so many defensive problems, defensive nightmares. You know what I mean? You know, for us, it's just kind of like making his shot attempts, his step backs more difficult and kind of wearing on him throughout the course of a game and then the course of a series. I think that's what opposing teams were trying to do as me when I was, in that position and had the ball in my hand. So I can relate and understand what it's like to be in that position and then ways to attack it or try to make it more difficult than it would usually be. Yeah, how did that feel when I was in this, then try to do the same thing against Luka. But, obviously not just Luka, but, Kyrie is a special talent as well. So you got like a two-headed monster over there who you got to try to slow down or contain. When you got the confidence like that, you got the ball in your hands, you can kind of make the decisions, possession by possession. Not too much, but there are some things which I won't say.
Luka in the 2023-24 NBA season was unstoppable to an extent that not many players can relate to. However, Warriors guard Steph Curry definitely can say a couple of words on this topic, as during his prime years, Steph Curry literally changed the way basketball is approached, taught, and played with his playing style. Mid-2010s Steph Curry was something different, and being the first and only unanimous MVP award winner in NBA history speaks for itself. Players of this caliber have always had tremendous respect between each other, and the relationship between Luka Doncic and Steph Curry is no exception. The Warriors guard has a huge amount of respect for Luka.
His size and his ball handling skills keep you on the edge the whole game just because that plus, being a three-level scorer, you have to kind of worry about everything. You don't want to get his step-back threes going, so you got to press up on him, but he's shifty and got a great handle, so he can use his leverage to get by you, and then obviously his court vision is unreal, so he's kind of the offensive package of being just a playmaker and a scorer. And when he's knocking down shots like he did tonight, it's tough. You kind of want to take something away from him, but he kept making play after play. He even made a couple defensive plays on the other side, a couple steals and a strip on me. He's been playing at an extremely high level, and he's been getting better every year.
When healthy, Lonzo Ball is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, a lengthy, quick-handed, and intelligent point guard who can guard almost every perimeter player in the league. With such abilities on the defensive end, Lonzo is more often than not tasked with guarding the opposing team's best perimeter player. So, he definitely has the experience and the credibility to talk about what is a good way to approach Luka on defense. Zoe had a short answer.
Just get into him as much as I can. Luka's a great player. Obviously, people like that have time and space, they're going to kill you all night. So for me, it's just trying to make his job as tough as I can.
Another generational player and one of the faces of the league, Antetokounmpo, is definitely one of the toughest stops in the NBA. A 7-footer with the speed and agility of a guard, the Greek Freak is one of the physically most imposing players in the league, and he uses that strength to its max potential. Being the competitor he is, the Greek Freak is always appreciative of the other great players in the league, and he is definitely a fan of Luka as well.
It's amazing. He's playing great basketball. He's a great basketball player, makes his teammates better, talented, really talented. One of the most talented guys I've ever played against. And he's making the whole team better, and he's going to keep getting better. he's gonna keep getting better, and as long as he's making his team better, they're gonna be tough to beat.
One of the greatest scorers of all time, Kevin Durant is an idol of many up-and-coming basketball players. As he became a Phoenix Suns player, KD took part in the rivalry between the Phoenix Suns and Dallas Mavericks as well. And with that, he got to experience the Luka Doncic torture chamber firsthand. Being the competitor he is, Luka always brings his maximum in these games, and Kevin Durant appreciates his game because of that. When asked about what he thought made Luka so special and difficult to stop, KD explained his point of view.
Well, I mean, I think it's a culmination of playing in the EuroLeague at such an early age, playing that style of basketball where you got the ball out top all game. It's a slower paced game, and he controls it a lot. I mean, he's the main ball handler, and they run pretty much one play the whole game, which is a pick and roll for him, and then he just creates. So it's unpredictable sometimes. He's such a great passer that he'll get into the lane and throw a dime. After he, goes up for a shot, he might throw a dime, So he's unique in how they use him. They feature him every possession. So, and then they got other guys when he's not playing, like Spencer, who plays similar to him, and Jalen Brunson that plays similar to him. So they built that program for him the second he got there, and they made sure he was able to be the best version of himself every day. So, sky's the limit. He's going to continue to do this for the next decade or plus.
Jamal Murray is one of the more underrated players the NBA has to offer. Murray has proven how important he is to the Denver Nuggets squad on multiple occasions, especially during playoff time when it matters the most. In a game between the Denver Nuggets and Dallas Mavericks in December 2023, the Nuggets managed to defeat the Mavs by almost 30 points. This was an extremely difficult night for the Mavericks players, as it seemed like only Luka came to play that game, finishing with 38 points. To give you a better perspective, Dante Exum was the Mavs' second scorer that night with 11 points. After the game, Jamal Murray explained how, despite the dominant win, the Nuggets still had troubles in containing Luka Doncic.
I don't think that's a question for me. I'm have to ask the other team. I don't know. I don't think anybody else on their team had over 10 points. But, I mean, Luka's a hell of a player, man. Yeah, I mean, to see why the ball's in his hand every possession. He makes plays. He shoots the ball efficiently. He can hit step backs. He can draw fouls. He can get to the rim. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's an amazing player. I don't know.
With a career that is over 20 years long, LeBron has definitely seen it all, from bad to good to great. And as a student of the game, he has taken notes of all as well. Although being a physical monster himself and relying on that a lot during his career, LeBron James would never be as great as he is if it was not for his basketball genius. And on the podcast with ex-NBA guard JJ Redick, LeBron James talked about how unguardable Luka Doncic is exactly, and where, in his opinion, teams make mistakes when game planning for him.
I don't understand it, especially with the shooting they surround him with too. It doesn't make sense.
I get the Brunson thing has been since Randall's out.
Yeah.
The uptick in blitzes
for
gone
sure.
way up,
they
right?
don't have that.
I get that.
Yeah, for sure.
I get that.
I get that as well. He's a one-head monster right now with the Knicks, and they blitzing him and making other guys beat him. I saw Golden State do it a lot last night as well before our game. But yeah, it doesn't, because he's going to make every read, and when Tim Hardaway is hitting 6 or 7 threes, you're done. Kyrie's going to do what Kyrie does.
Yeah.
Luka's going to do what he does. When you get Tim Hardaway hitting 6 or 7 threes, and in our game earlier this year, we blitzed Luka and Dante Exum hit 5,
that's right.
6 threes.
Despite turning out to be the best player in his draft class, Luka Doncic ended up as the 3rd overall pick in 2018. DeAndre Ayton was the number 1 overall pick in that draft class, and although never reaching the level of greatness that Luka has, he is still a great NBA big man who finished off the 2023-24 NBA regular season with averages of 16 and 11. Strong numbers, and if it were not for the greatness of Luka Doncic, his spot as the top pick in his draft class would have never been brought up as much as it is now. While he was a Phoenix Sun, DeAndre Ayton got to see Luka magic firsthand and has a great amount of respect for it.
I mean, I don't feel no way. Whoever got the ball and I got to switch, I got to try and stop him. That's just me. Feeling some type of way on stopping somebody. It's the NBA. You really can't stop nobody. You really guarding them. If I'm really guarding Luka, I'm just guarding him. I ain't stopping him. He missed him because he missed by himself. He missed on his own. It ain't because of me. I'm just in front of him, luckily. You know what I'm saying?
Kyrie Irving is definitely the best teammate that Luka has ever played with. Sometimes a tough character to deal with, Kyrie has had his fair share of disputes with fellow superstar teammates and the organizations, but that has never been the case with Luka Doncic. Maybe because he is in a different stage of his career, Kyrie seems to be a lot wiser on the Mavs and has flourished in his role as the team's veteran superstar.
Yeah, I've learned, obviously from playing with other co-stars, but specifically with Luka, it's just you got to trust him and you got to let him be him and allow him to, grow. He's very young still, very well accomplished, but I know his overall goal is to win a championship, and it's the same for me. So that's our focus. It's not so much about, kind of our emotions and our reactions, just settling. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He's an incredible leader next to me, and we do it with others around us too, and we empower each other to have that voice. And when he's emotional, he's honest, and I appreciate that. I'd rather be out there with someone that's emotional and wants to do better for themselves and for the team than, someone that's quiet or just allowing things to happen and kind of depending on everybody else to step in. He's one of those type leaders where he just wants to come in, make his presence be felt, and sometimes when he gets text, you just got to live with it and move on. And that's where we are, man. It's the playoffs, and those little things you just got to kind of bury and move on.
Possibly Luka's biggest rival in the NBA, Phoenix Suns' Devin Booker has gone head-to-head with Luka in numerous games, both in the playoffs and the regular season. Luka has managed to come up on top more than Devin has, but the two have given us some unforgettable moments and high-quality basketball. Thus, the two have tremendous amounts of respect for each other, even though the media has tried to portray it differently. Devin Booker explained it best.
I think that's just another moment, that proves, what social media is about, and, how people try to stir drama and, look for anything clickbait. Me and Luka's respect for each other has been mutual and at a high level since he came into the league. So, obviously a playoff series gets super competitive, as every game does, but the world just takes it and runs with it. And that's fine. It's good for the game, good for traction, good for views, but, there's no problem amongst each other. We just compete at the highest level.
One of the more interesting scenarios in the NBA is what if Jalen Brunson stayed with the Dallas Mavericks and developed his game alongside draftmate Luka Doncic. The two had a great relationship from day one, but once Jalen Brunson became a free agent and got an offer from the Mavericks, he felt like he deserved more and tested if the grass was greener elsewhere. Safe to say it turned out to be greener, but we are all left wondering what the two could have done if they had stayed together. Jalen Brunson, of course, still has a lot of respect for Luka and his game.
That dude, it's funny because I remember first meeting him, that language barrier was hilarious. Hilarious. He can speak way better English now, but he came in right away and it looks so effortless. Like when my style, I'm like, I gotta come in every day, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, just to make sure that they just see this man just come in the gym, they do his work, and when he play pickup, it just looked like he's doing that slow motion, but he's doing whatever he wants. And I'm thinking, I play my own pace, I control the game, whatever. I do it a little differently, but his is just on another level. So from day one, I was like, this dude is good. This dude is good. But also, I'm thinking damn, this dude is good. Do I belong? That's the type of doubt that I put in my mind. This dude he was that good. I came in. You can ask any vet on that team. It was DeAndre Jordan, Wes Matthews, Harrison Barnes, JJ Barea, Devin Harris. They all said the same thing. The dude just came in and everyone was just like, wow.
Playing against the LA Clippers in the playoffs 3 times in 5 seasons, Luka Doncic has given them all kinds of problems and headaches. Being a 6'6" explosive guard, Terrence Mann is often tasked with guarding Luka Doncic in their matchups, while Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are on the bench. So, safe to say, Terrence Mann has been on the receiving end of maybe too many Luka buckets, and he is aware of that as well. When asked if he wants to play against Luka Doncic, Terrence Mann had a simple and honest answer.
Do I like playing against Luka Doncic? The answer is no. The answer is no. It's not fun. He's a great player. He makes great reads. He makes the right decision, 90% of the time. So it's not a fun task, but I love this game and I love playoff basketball and I love this challenge, and we're excited, to play them for the 3rd time. That's fun to play a team for the 3rd time in 5 years, I think it is. So that's exciting.
Being the talent and competitor that he is, Luka Doncic is one of the most respected players in the league. No matter the opponent, the meaningness of the game, or the score difference, Luka has always brought his A game on the court, and that is why his name is so highly spoken of. With him yet to hit his prime, there is a lot of Luka basketball ahead of us. Let's hope for the best for him and the Mavericks in the future.